So then next with the Clintons, I don't think you saw either one, right? Bill
No,
or
I
Hillary?
didn't. Honestly, you can let me know if this didn't come. I just kind of feel like I think we're a little bit overdone with the Clintons now.
Right.
I honestly do.
And that's what I was gonna get on. I think, I mean, in the long run, I don't think it would make a big deal. But I kind of feel like that was one of the few missteps of the DNC. Like, what's the point of having Bill Clinton speak again, especially in the same week that these images surfaced with the Epstein thing? Even though,
You know why? Because he's still considered a top tier president. He is, or
as far as what he did as president,
yeah,
for
he's still
sure.
top. I think most scholars put him, and I can agree with it.
Yeah.
Like probably 15th, 14th, maybe even a little bit higher. I don't think he's ever in the top 10, but he's still top tier.
Yeah, but there's so much personal baggage there where you got to be like, do the benefits outweigh the what's the opposite of benefits? do the pros outweigh the cons?
Benefits outweigh the risk, or something.
The risk. Thank you. Yeah, the benefits outweigh the risk.
Or the risk outweighs the benefits. Either way, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. So, and in my case, I was like, no, it's way too risky to put Bill Clinton out there. I don't think it had a long-lasting impact. Yeah. But still, I thought that was a bad idea. Hillary made a lot of good points, but the other thing about Hillary is that it seemed like we were playing into this narrative of we're still salty about the 2016 election, right?
Which is a bad move.
Yeah, you don't want to come across as whiny, right?
Yeah.
We thought she has legitimate gripes as far as Russian interference into the election and all that stuff. Yeah, legitimate, but we don't need.
That's not what we need to be talking about.
Exactly, we don't need to keep really relitigating that, and that's just what I got from having the Clintons speak.
Yeah, so, and then the thing is, the Democrats and her supporters need to realize this. She is one of the most polarizing candidates.
Yeah,
she really is. She's polarizing. And I've spoken to some of my friends about how she's polarizing with some people. There's a lot of voters, and we know which specific voters I'm talking about. The same voters that Biden's trying to keep a lot of them don't forgive her for 2008. Her saying, "Oh, let me not consent because an RFK situation can always happen." You know what I'm saying, like.
And I forgot that. That's pretty dark.
And you were dogging him for so long, while he was running, trying to paint this. And it's just kind of, it's bringing her back in just brings back in sour grapes.
Yeah.
About 2000. Look, we get it. She won the popular vote, but she didn't win the general election.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things where you're already one of them. I always thought in 2016 she was the most polar. That's what I said immediately. I don't think we were friends yet. But as soon as 2016 happened, I was like, this is what happens when you put the most polarizing candidate that you could think of versus this clown.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I just think the Democratic Party needs to start moving away from the Clintons as much as they can.
Yeah, like,
not completely forget them, but move away from them.
Yeah, we appreciate their contribution to the party and all that stuff, but I just didn't think the convention was the right place to build them out.
People might argue about the whole women vote, but Kamala Harris it's taking care of that right now.
Yeah. There's so many people that ran for the 2020 election that Biden can put out there to campaign for him in those states. Klobuchar, Harris, Gillibrand, Warren. There's so many of them. Like, he doesn't need Clinton to go out there and campaign for him.
Who do you think should have taken up? Like, I mean, because she had like a 15-20 minute speech too, right?
Who? Clinton?
Yeah, but Hillary.
It was significant. Yeah, it was a good.
Like, got 15, 18 maybe.
Yeah, I don't think it was 20 minutes, but more around
maybe
15.
Like 10 or 8 minutes or something like that. Yeah. Who do you think out of the speeches that didn't get a lot of time should have taken up her time? You know what I mean? Like, just have her talk real quickly for I worked with Joe. I did this. Joe will bring this in, blah, blah, blah. Just say, this is why you should vote for Joe. Good, a minute and a half, 2 minutes. And then, then that's it. Don't bring up my thing, the fact that you have a Hulu show that is talking about what ifs, it's like, yo, dude, you got to move on from that, because if you keep doing that, people are just going to look at you as a weak. That's a weakness now.
Yeah, and they're going to look at the Democrats as weak for almost, elevating it, right? They're putting it on their primetime convention show, right? So you said who should have taken the spot instead? That's a tough question. I haven't really thought about that.
How long was Warren speaking?
She spoke about the same length as Clinton.
Okay.
She had good time.
I think they should have probably given AOC the only reason I say that is because I did listen to hers.
Yeah.
Where hers was a minute, and I get it. It was the roll call for the fact that
Bernie
Sanders had to get his nomination or she had to second it.
Yeah.
But they could have given her time to explain, because I think after Twitter got a hold of that, they had to explain it as to why she did that. If she had been able to get more time, she probably could have been like, this is why, this is Bernie, I second his nation, but now I'm also,
I don't know. I think that was a non-issue from the start. I think anyone who pays attention to politics at all knows that was normal.
Yeah, but you got to remember, regular watcher does not pay attention to politics. There was a bit of confusion back there, because people were like, "Oh, did she pull a Cruz and was like, not formally nominating Biden?"
Well,
you know how Cruz didn't formally endorse Trump in his speech.
Yeah. So like let me talk on that then. We've said the Clintons, there was no need for them to be there. The Democrats, I think that was one of their missteps. Let's talk about the AOC thing, right? Because I did want to bring that up. I thought that was really bad on NBC to tweet, because they tweeted out that AOC seems to, I'm paraphrasing again, but essentially AOC seems to be endorsing Bernie Sanders during, Biden convention. And
you're MSNBC, you should know what she was doing.
Yeah, so the point of that was for clicks, right? For people to click the article to read about it, because it sounds like, oh, there's disunity in the DNC. But you are a news organization. This happens every convention. You have, obviously not in the Republican convention because Trump basically ran unopposed, but you have the candidates, especially the top two candidates for convention delegates, being put in there. You have to have someone nominate them. And Bernie asked for AOC because she's part of the progressive wing. Yeah. That's all it was. It wasn't AOC saying that, oh, I'm not going to vote for Biden. And they know that, but it was very disingenuous for them to do that, and it was very bad.
And that's why I'm saying that I kind of feel like if you want to try to bring in the more progressive votes, right, what you could do, because there was a lot of confusion among so many people about that, right? And then it's just like I said, it brings up that whole Cruz situation where people are outraged at Cruz for not endorsing Trump. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, when he did that, I gave him props because I was like, oh, look, you being a man, this dude talk crap about your wife, and then you go behind, then you start, you still
robocalls.
And then you're still doing his bidding. But anyways, I feel like what they could have done is with AOC is let her do that, because there's a lot of people who hate on her on AOC, but there's a lot of people who love her. She is the Democrat. She is a Democrat / progressive darling. She really is.
She's the future of the party. Yeah.
A lot of people love her. She's part of the future of the party, That's kind of why I feel like she's playing the long game when it comes to politics now, because she knows eventually the Nancy Pelosi's are going to be pushed out, and she'll be one of the ones that lead, her and the squad, because I don't know if they basically one of the new, I forgot who it was, a new member of Congress she basically inserted herself into a squad. Is like, it's my honor to join the squad. So basically letting people know this is where I align, right? But I feel like what they could have done with AOC to help out their quest to try to get more progressive votes is what they could have done is they could have done that. It's my honor to second the nomination for Bernie Sanders. Now in November, do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, actually, you know what? So you're saying who could have taken Hillary Clinton's spot? They could have done, I talked about the keynote address being all those candidates that won seats recently. they could have done like a 4-way split screen type of thing too of the squad. And this is after they do the roll call of, Biden getting the nomination. The squad can have like 10 minutes or whatever to speak to whatever, because that shows that even though the Democratic Party has a diversity of thought, not everyone is far left, not everyone is, center left or middle, all that stuff. We all have the same goals, just different ways of reaching a goal. That's what that would have shown, right? Saying that, hey, progressives, we consider you as part of the party. Here's your speaking spot. And they didn't do that. They gave Bernie like a significant spot, right? Because closing out a night is a significant spot. But the progressive wing of the party is more than just Bernie, right?
Yeah.
So I think that was a missed opportunity.
Whether they want to or not. I feel like there's a lot of people within the party, and this is more old school.
Mm-hmm.
This is more of the older members of Congress, the ones that have been in there for 33 years, unopposed a lot of times. Just people that just, what did Harvey Dent say? You stay around long enough to become the villain.
Yeah, you either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain.
And it's kind of like one of those situations. I think in politics, it's like maybe you don't become the villain, but you forget why you originally wanted to serve, or you forget what it is to serve the people.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of feel like there's a lot of older Democrats that are like that. And then slowly, hopefully it's becoming that progressives are starting to not push them out. Hopefully that's the evolution of the party.
Yeah, right.
And then depending on how this election happens, that's going to either accelerate or it's just going to go at the pace that it's going now. I don't think it'll decelerate. Progressiveness is in the minds of so many young people now that I don't think progressiveness will go away.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still going to be, the old guard is still going to do their damnness to slow it down. And if not, outright stop it, right?
Okay. Yeah.
That's just nature. That's just human nature, and also nature of politics, them just, they want to keep, people want to keep their power. So anyways.
Yeah.
I think from what I heard, I agree with you that they didn't do as much as they could do to bring over the progressive votes.
Yeah, I think they tried, but the not having the squad speak, I think, was a missed opportunity, especially knowing how popular they are amongst younger voters.
Yeah.
But all right.